It is a cold, yucky day here in North Alabama, and today I am doing some seed starting. I wanted to give you an update on my soil blocking, how that's going, and also share some tips and tricks with you guys today. I've learned a few things over the last couple of weeks that I think will make things a little easier for you. I know they've been making it easier for me. So let's get started. If we have not met yet, my name is Samantha. My husband and I are flower farmers and vegetable farmers here in North Alabama. We currently grow on 2 acres of land, and in the coming year, we're actually going to be expanding quite a bit, but that's a whole nother video. The first tip that I want to share with you today is kind of a doozy, but it's really worth your time. So you should make yourself, when you're getting ready to start your seeds, or actually before you're getting ready to start your seeds, a grow manual. So this thing has, I just ripped it open. But this thing has everything that we're going to be growing this year in it, from flowers to vegetables. Everything is in there. And on each one of these pages, it has the variety name, days to maturity, days to germination. Am I going to succession sow it? How do I plant it? What's the spacing, the row spacing? What kind of crop is it? How do you harvest it? So everything that you need to know about the variety that you're growing is in this grow manual. It's really a treasure because, like today, I'm going to be starting some Chinese forget-me-nots. They germinate in complete darkness. Well, if I didn't know that, and if I didn't go check my manual and I just sowed them the way I always do, they wouldn't do anything. They need darkness. So you really want to pay attention to the details for your seeds. Number one, you're going to save money and time because you won't have to be resowing things. You won't be wasting seeds. It's just a really good idea to make yourself a manual. I made this on Google Docs. Like, I took the picture of whatever it is that I'm growing and then copy and pasted. Now, obviously, you're just making this for yourself. You're not going to like go and share this with the world because that would be a copyright infringement. This is just for my personal use. So if you do this, don't be sharing it with everybody. And I don't mean that to be greedy. I just mean you really want to honor these companies that have put all the hard work into making this information and sharing this information with us. So that's my first tip. Okay, now that that's put back together, the next thing that I want to talk to you guys about is labeling your trays when you're soil blocking. So I love painter's tape. This is just the blue, regular old painter's tape. You can get it at Lowe's or Walmart. I think you can even get this at Dollar General, but it's waterproof. All you do is take your painter's tape, label your tray. I just put it on the side, the little lip of the tray, and then I write what variety is in that section. One thing I would encourage you not to do not tape this in the middle the way that I have. It makes watering kind of a mess. When you're soil blocking, you can put your blocks close together for sections of things that are the same. So like this section here is Swiss Giant Mix Straw Flower. This one is Straw Flower Garden Yellow. It's a completely different section, but if I were to have just taped this section and then used a different piece of tape for this section, I would have realized, oh, hey, that's a whole different thing. So don't put the tape down the middle the way that I did. I've had to clean up quite a few messes recently because of that. I wanted to bring you guys in here and show you what our seedlings are looking at. They're looking really good. I had a bit of low germination on some things. It took me a few weeks to figure out exactly what I need to do as far as a humidity dome. A regular dome won't really fit over these trays. I didn't want to be squishing seedlings or messing up the soil blocks. And so the first thing that I tried to rectify that situation was saran wrap. I would not recommend that you do that because a lot of things that I've been sowing don't really need to be covered very much. Honestly, just like a little bitty tiny bit of vermiculite is almost too much for some of the things that I've been sowing. So covering it with a saran wrap was a problem because the seedlings would sprout, they would stick to the saran wrap, and then they would just come right off the tray, which broke my heart because I was wasting seeds, I was wasting time. So then I decided that I needed to get even more creative. So I actually built a humidity dome for my seedlings. I'm going to take you over here and show you what I'm talking about. So this is my humidity dome. I put some 3 mil plastic on the top of this shelf above the heat mat. And then this is 4x1 wood. It's got a little handle here. And then this is just 3 mil plastic up here on the top, and it's just stapled. It's not anything fancy, but it really does a great job, especially on things that need a little bit more heat to germinate well. Some of the flowers that I'm starting need light to germinate, and so I have found that this setup has really helped me quite a lot because they can get the light that they need, they can get the heat that they need. If they need a little extra humidity, they can also get it here. Another setup that I have that I'll show you is down below. This setup is a lot more simple. It's just my heat mat on top of my shelf. I have some onions down here and some cabbage and broccoli and cool weather crops that are sprouting. They're looking pretty happy. I'll show you. Look at these little guys. Just sprouting away. I know that they should probably be covered, but the vermiculite that I got was actually kind of coarse, and I found that some of my things were having a hard time sprouting up through that. So what I've been doing is letting these things sprout in their little soil blocks and then up potting them. And I'll show you some things that we started about a month ago and how they're looking. So over here I have some lettuce, some cabbage, some kale, collards. There's a ton of really good, yummy cold weather crops that are here in these cell blocks. Honestly, they're ready to go to the garden. The problem is we don't yet have a space set up for them. That's on our to-do list for the next couple weeks. So if these guys can hold on a little bit longer, which I don't know if they'll make it or not, but if they can hold off a little bit longer, they can happily go to their permanent homes in the in-ground gardens. One of the things I'm still waiting on in order to get that set up are my hoops. I ordered some hoops for my row covers from Johnny's, but they haven't been delivered yet. So I'll be checking on that, and hopefully we can get these in the ground soon. One last tip that I want to share with you is about watering your seedlings. You do not want to water straight from your tap because your tap has chlorine in it. So we have these big pretty glass gallon jars that we fill up every day. I have 4 of them, which are quickly not going to be enough because we have so many green things growing in the grow room right now. But these jars are super easy to carry. You just fill them up. I bring them back here. One quick tip though, you have to take the lid off of the jar and let it sit for 24 hours before you can use that water. You want the chlorine to be completely removed, and the way that that happens is exposure to oxygen. When I get ready to do my watering, I pour water in my pretty little pitcher here, and then I just pour it from the pitcher into my watering can. It makes it super easy to water my seedlings with this. I know that seems like a lot of steps, but I try really hard to minimize the mess that I'm making in here. Before we wrap it up, I just wanted to show you my Lysianthus babies. Look at these guys. Can you see them? I'm honestly so surprised that they all sprouted. I was so excited. I don't know if you guys saw in the last video, but I dumped an entire tray of Lysianthus seedlings. I was so brokenhearted about it. I made a huge mess. And when I told my friend May down the road about it, she brought me Lysianthus seeds so that I could replant. I was so excited. I also actually went on Johnny's and ordered some more. I know they'll be a little late, but I think Lysianthus, bloom all the way through the summer. So it's kind of worth it to me to get a little bit of late start to have those cut flowers. I hope that you enjoyed this video. We have some really cool announcements and news that we're going to be sharing in the next couple of weeks. I hope that you guys have had a good week. Tomorrow is Friday, which means the weekend is coming. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, stay fruitful.